Hi, this is Brian. Welcome back to another Areté plus 1 degree, one of 451 micro chapters from the new book, Areté, Activate Your Heroic Potential. 1,000 pages of goodness. You got one yet? Let's go. This is called Levity plus Gravity equals Buoyancy. To sell is human, and the new ABCs. Dan Pink tells us that to sell is human. Although only 1 in 9 Americans is technically in sales, he says that the other 8 in 9 spend a ton of their time in non-sales selling. In fact, the research he commissioned shows that we spend around 40% of our time, or 24 minutes, out of every working hour, trying to move people to do things, whether that's pitching an idea to colleagues or trying to change someone's behavior. Then there's the personal time we spend selling or moving others, from selling our kids on a philosophical idea, mistakes are awesome, or your spouse on how to optimize your nutrition, sugar isn't awesome. In that context, he tells us we need some new ABCs of selling. As you may know, the ABCs of the old school hardcore sales approach are always be closing. ABC. That, to say the least, is not where it's at. Now, Dan says it's all about attunement, buoyancy, and clarity. ABC. Here's the super quick look. Attunement is basically the ability to connect with others. We get there via 3 things. Humility, trying to figure out what the other person is thinking. This is more effective, by the way, than trying to figure out what they're feeling, and strategically mimicking their movements and words, but doing it subtly and acting like a human being without being weird about it. Then we have buoyancy. And that's actually what I want to focus on today. More on that in a moment. Then we have clarity. We need to be able to concisely communicate the essence of our offer, finding the 1% of what really matters while asking good questions, etc. So, all that to arrive at buoyancy. Buoyancy is how we stay afloat in the ocean of rejection we all feel when we try to sell people on our ideas and or products, etc. Dan offers us tips to stay buoyant before, during, and after our pitch. Before, we want to make sure our self-talk is empowering, and during, we want to keep our positivity ratios optimized. 1-to-1 isn't going to do it, nor will 2-to-1. Research shows that 3-to-1 is the sweet spot. Note, 11-to-1 isn't going to work either. Now, after, we want to make sure our explanatory styles are rocking a la Martin Seligman's Wisdom on Learned Optimism. Check that out. Now, we're ready for the point of this plus 1 degree. You know that positivity ratio, positive to negative things? We want to target 3-to-1. Too little positivity isn't going to work. And, very important, and too much positivity isn't going to work either. I love the way Dan frames Barbara Fredrickson's wisdom on this, and I quote, Fredrickson sees the healthy positivity ratios as a calibration between 2 competing poles, levity and gravity. Levity is that unseen force that lifts you skyward, whereas gravity is the opposing force that pulls you earthward. Unchecked levity leaves you flighty, ungrounded, and unreal. Unchecked gravity leaves you collapsed in a heap of misery. Yet, when properly combined, these 2 opposing forces leave you buoyant. Levity plus gravity equals buoyancy. How's your levity and how's your gravity? Here's to your buoyancy.